Cool Boy back on the scene with another one. And we're going to be talking about the confrontation between Jey Uso and CM Punk last night on Raw. Let's get into it. The show started off showing the World Heavyweight title in the ring, and then a few seconds later, Jey Uso's music hit, and of course he did his whole dramatic intro. It's just me, and then, coming through the crowd and all that, and then he came out there, and then, and the intro went for way too long, and then they ran it back, as he says, and then they did it again. It's just me. I'm like, okay, like, this is, like, just way too much, right? But then he started talking about, Saturday night's main event and what's ahead of him with the World Heavyweight title. And he started getting hype, and he started getting the crowd hyped. And as soon as he was getting ready to say 4 letters, 1 word, he was interrupted by CM Punk. CM Punk came out there and did his, typical intro, nothing long or anything. But he actually copied Jey Uso. He did the whole run it back thing, and they ran back CM Punk's theme music, which I really think was like really a nice touch. And then Punk said, okay, enough games. Jey, I apologize for stealing your stuff. That was kind of funny that not only did he copy Jey's stuff, but he also apologized to Jey about stealing his stuff. That was a fun little touch, though. It was cool. They went back and forth on the mic a little bit. Punk talked about it, and he talked about how Jey Uso may quote-unquote need to win, but Punk, he said he also feels like he needs to win because of that super short reign before the cash-in by Seth Rollins. He said he needs another chance, after that, which was totally unfortunate, as we all know. I have a video about it. I'm actually going to tag a card right here for when that happened. It was a little while ago. But yeah, I'm going to tag that in there, and it'll probably be at the end, too, for anyone who missed that. But anyway, getting back to this, Punk was just pretty much like pep talking Jey a little bit, and then Jey, it's like he had to like toughen himself back up, like at the end, which I'll get into in a second. But yeah, Punk was, toughening him up, and Punk, he said, I listen to myself, which is true. CM Punk's character pretty much says that, and he told Jey, he said, I like how you listen to yourself, during that battle royal, Pretty much just, like I said, giving Jey, just kind of like pumping Jey up. But then Jey took it to the next level and kind of like made it more like he's angry with Punk, and he started just getting tense. You guys would have to just watch it to see what I mean. But it's like he took it to a level that Punk didn't take it to, almost like he was like angry with Punk or something. And then that's kind of like it, man. And then after that, Jey got in the face of Punk, and they had a little face off there, which is, the last face off until Saturday night's main event. I had a funny feeling Jey might attack CM Punk, but good thing it didn't happen. Also about Jey, it seems as though Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso have squashed the beef. Jimmy was walking in the back. He ran into Jey. He stood up, and they had words with each other. And Jey, he was like, "Come on, Jimmy, why do you think I betrayed you? Like, why would you feel like that?" It was every man for himself. And Jey talked about, how he's got, so much on his mind. He's got the Vision on his mind, and CM Punk. And he said, he just doesn't really have room for anything else. And then Jimmy was like, I understand. And they were able to dap each other up. So they have seemingly squashed the beef. It seems as though everything's okay now. There's no more problems between them. So I guess we can rule out Jimmy as being a problem into the Saturday night's main event match. The main event of Saturday night's main event. Holy cow. But I guess we can rule him out because I mentioned him a few weeks ago, or last week, that I think he might get involved. But I guess we can kind of rule that out now. But still, getting back to this match, I think Seth Rollins will show up in some way. Him or his energy, he's going to show up some kind of way. I don't care if he shows up in a cast or, you know, if he shows up through his theme music, or if he shows up on the screen, I'm at a remote location or something. You know, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to, again, you know, have somebody come in and attack for him, but Seth Rollins will show up through someone else or there in some way. I have a funny feeling. But if no one gets involved, I definitely think that Punk will pull it off. I really do. But that's it for this video, peeps. Peace out, peeps.